Guys, that was great, great, great. As always, so blessed to have you. Felt like going down memory lane there. Uh, I picked that song. The last time I spoke was I had to get up here when former President Donald Trump had been attempted assassination and someone died. And then this week I get to come out when we had that shooting at the school. And I thought, I wanted that song because if you hear the song I sing, you will understand. Listen, you hold the key to love and fear all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people. Or come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. And I was thinking about you grandparents can understand, those of you who are younger. I mean, I look at my life and I think how we have changed and how we are going through different things. When my boys were 14, I would never have thought of buying them a gun. They were excited to get a new bike, so they could ride around the neighborhood and be with each other and be with their friends. And so things are changing. Things are changing, and we're part of that change. So never underestimate the ripple effect that your healing and your kindness is having on the world. It's important for us. What I love, what I love about this teaching is how it does bring everybody together. We don't care if you're an atheist, if you're Jewish, Catholic, agnostic, whatever. It's all about seeing the uniqueness and the oneness of each one of us. And so I want to ask you, I want you to think about this. Why are you here? Why are you here? Not just here in this center, although I'd be curious to know about that. But why do you think you're here? I picture this is what I picture. On the other side, before we came here, God showed us the globe, the world up there, and He said they're going to go through a hot mess. They're going through their teens right now. They're going to be going through their teens, and they're going to be rebelling, and I'm better than you, and you're stupid, and you're this and that, right? Isn't that what little kids do? And there's this divine being saying, I need some spirits here to go down and help make a difference. Help them through that. And we raised our hands and said, put me in, coach, put me in. I'm ready to go. I want to go down there. And I want to be a part of this. I want to experience life. And so I think we're all called from a divine level to bring that love, to bring that peace. And, I think about how I got here. My life was good. I think I was 40, 30, I think around that. I just knew I'd been raised Catholic. I knew that there was something more. I had a successful business. I had my 2 boys, and things were well, but there was an emptiness. There was something that I knew that was missing, and I went searching for it. And as things have it, Spirit guided me here, and I've been here ever since, and took my classes from Reverend Patty over there, and this is, no matter what you're going through in your life, there, being a teacher and a practitioner minister, we know that, I know that some of you have had really rough lives. And you may be going through something really rough now. But you have a power within you to make a difference in your life and in the world. So dream it, believe it, and build it. You know, when the law of attraction, remember how that was a big thing, you know, imagine yourself in your car and you'd get a car and so forth. And that was a big thing that kind of maybe even kind of kicked off stuff. But it's so much more than that. So if not now, when? If you want to change your life, if we want to change the world, if not now, when? And are you living the life you dreamt about? You know, the one when you were young and there were no limits to your imagination. Well, you are the unique expression of the universe. You were brought here because of your gifts. At no time in history do we need your uniqueness more than now. Be, do, have. And P.S., today's a great day to begin. So what are some of your dreams now? We look around the world and there's so, you know, not only, I mean, I can't imagine getting a phone call that my child's in a school and somebody just is shooting them and their, you know, teacher. It's like, you know, I look at my life and it was never like that, thank God. But I think this is a wake-up call for us, each one of us, to be more, to realize we can create more. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. So let's say you have a dream about something, and then that fear comes in. Oh, you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not powerful enough. Who do you think you are? These are the things, you know, and a lot of this is embedded in us from our childhood. And there are some people sitting here that had horrendous childhoods. Let me go to this one first, and then we'll get into it. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. That is so important. Just say, I know I can do this, I can do this, and know you can do it, and do it. These people that have, you know, can you imagine, you know, the Wright brothers and them coming in there and saying, Mom, we're going to create this thing where people can fly in the sky and get around. And her mother going, oh, yeah, right. Yeah, go make your little, you know, go get your kite. That's about it, you know. But they knew it, and they had an idea, and they let go of the fear, and they just knew they could do it, and they did it. And so it's so important to do that. This is my book study that I'm doing is Mind Magic, and by Dr. James Doty. And he says that the world responds favorably and generously to a purpose that heals and invites life to flow. By tuning into how our intention can serve others, we invite benefactors and assistants we could never have imagined if we had pursued our goal only for our own self-interest. Dr. Doty has a really interesting story. He was brought up by an alcoholic father. His mother was an invalid. She got paralyzed. She was bed-stricken. They lived on government assistance housing. They were kicked out of houses several times, and at that he was the youngest. And just to get out of the house, he got on his bike and he rode his bike to a magic shop. And in that magic shop, this lady, her son owned it, but she was there by herself manning it. And she could tell, she was very sensitive, that he was having issues. And she called him over and she started talking to him about his life. And she said, I'm going to be here for another 6 weeks. I will take you under my wing and I'm going to help you. And you'll be helped. She taught him about meditation and just taught him a lot of spiritual stuff. And he decided he was going to be a doctor. And you know, he hadn't even filled out, I think I shared, he hadn't even filled out his papers for college in his senior year. Somebody was doing theirs. I said, what are you doing? She said, I'm filling out my applications. He said, oh, where are you going? She said, Cal State. And she said, what about you? He goes, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to Cal State, too. And, in Orange County. And anyway, he got in eventually. They didn't want to even interview him because his grades were so bad. But he said, I'm not leaving until they interview me. And they got in. Anyway, he fulfilled his dream. He became a multimillionaire. He had the house in Newport over the ocean. He had a Ferrari. He had all these cars in his garage. But he was miserable. He was miserable. And then something happened where he had a business and it was going to collapse. And he had already assigned a bunch of money to a charity. And his attorney said, well, you can rescue everything if you don't give that money to the charity. We haven't really signed it. He said, no, I want it to go there. And so he rebuilt himself up again. And so what he found out is if you have a desire for something, it can't just be about yourself. What are you doing that's going to help other people? Yes, you're going to make money, but how can you help the rest of the world? So think about what some of your goals are. How are you helping others? Because we are in this together. Ryan, can you put back my first slide? Something I want to share on that picture. Okay, do you see all those little things? That's how we are all connected. We think we're these separate things, but we're all part of the whole. We are all connected. So when one thrives and does well, we should all be happy. Everything is a mirror for us to be more than what we came here to be. You know, it's amazing how many people's lives have changed that have come here to this center because they believed it, they were inspired, they recognized that. Ryan, can you put me back where I was? Okay. So make sure your goal is more than just your own self-interest. And so go for that. Know that you do have that power because you are one with the divine. You are one, and we can make a difference in this world. We are making a difference in this world by how we show up in the world. You know, I was talking to Damien over here, and we were talking about how, you know, growing up with most of us, I don't know how, very few of you probably were brought up in spirituality, were probably in some kind of organized religion, or you were totally against it. You know, and this idea that there's this God out there, and, you know, if you're good, you're going to go to heaven, and they're keeping score, or you're going to go to hell. And any of you that are parents, and when you held your child, how, as much as you love that child, your grandchild, or whatever, you would never condemn them to burn for eternity in some fire pit because they didn't do things. We had free choices. The prodigal son is a great story of that. Here the one son stayed enslaved on the farm, the ranch, and the other one went off and partied and lost everything. And what happened when he realized he needed to come home? The dad was there with open arms because you are all divine. You are here to experience life and to help each other. You know, it's like I heard once, ants help each other across water by pulling each other across. And that's what we're here for. Yes, our country, I look at my life, and I'm going to my 55th class reunion at the end of the month. 55th year. I'm so excited to see who's left and to catch up on what's been going on in their lives. And and I think back on my life. The first election I really remember was Kennedy again and Nixon. And I told you this before. My mom worked at Teamsters in Detroit, and everybody was for Nixon, and she was the only one with Kennedy. And I think, and one of the things they were against him is he was Catholic. Remember that? He was the first Catholic priest. President. Priest. Boy, that was a good one. And so, I've lived through that. I lived through my lifetime, the assassination of John F. Kennedy. then his brother Robert, Martin Luther King. You know, we've seen a lot. I got to see the first black president. I would have never thought, from what I was taught, that would happen. You know, my grandmother was from Tennessee, and let me tell you, she was a little racist, just a little bit. Yeah, yeah, and I didn't understand that because I was in Detroit, Michigan, and we loved our neighbors. We had black neighbors, and we loved them, and so it's what you are conditioned. Look at your childhood. If you have fears or stuff, where did that come from? Because it's in your subconscious. But the great thing is, that was then, this is now. Where are you going? Where are you going? So use your voice for kindness, your ears for compassion, your hands for charity, your mind for truth, and your heart for love. Help people. Look at them. Look at every person, even if they irritate you sometimes. That is an aspect of God. And you don't know what they've been through that made them that way. And we all need love. We all need kindness. And I want to end with Ernest Holmes. Love heals, forgives, and makes whole. We have within us a power that is greater than anything we shall ever contact in the outer. A power that can overcome every obstacle in our life and set us safe, satisfied, and at peace, healed and prosperous, in a new light and in a new life. So let's be that light. Let's be that life. I'm tired of hearing about wars, the tragedies in the Middle East and how awful. And, my high school, we were going through the Vietnam War. It seems like our whole lives, we've been fighting each other. We've been pitting each other against each other. Why are we doing that? Let's come together. And so what I am mandating today is that we leave here and be warriors for love and peace and coming together, because we can do it. This world, that is why we are here now, to spread that light, to see somebody who's hurting and know we don't know why. Why are they rebelling that way? Why are they acting that way? I think of that little boy who shot up that school. What in his life would be that he would be so miserable and feel that was the thing to do? That is a soul that is suffering. That is a family that is suffering. Let's send love. Let's send love wherever we can and be those warriors, because that's what the center is about. The center is about love and is about oneness. It's not us against them or them. We are all one. We're in this game together. Let's play it right. Namaste.